apologies, viewers. At the same time that Psychic Taco was taking the lead after we saw Nira Toasty drop out of the race, for whatever reason, the stream dropped out of existence. This happened last week in the GP3 when I subbed for Sharky. I do not know what happened there, viewers, so I really do apologise. But we are back on board as XRL Fozzy in P5 is chasing after Jamie2503. And wow, that's a changer in the title championship. We lost Nira Toasty, but DRS spot now wide open on the back of Jamie2503. Moving wide up to the outside, XRL Fozzy takes a good chance here. But Jamie2503 has been mighty on the brakes in the turn 13. Can XRL Fozzy keep the lead? He just keeps ahead for now.
Well, that's interesting again, because when XRL Bernie lagged out in Australia for qualifying, Nira Toasty then became the new host, and he actually lagged out in the race as well. So I think there may be a little bit of connection between the two teammates with Sauber, but disappointing for them anyway.
I think there needs to be a full revision for the connection test here next week for the race in GP2. As most of you have all decided to go away, according to my thing. I've only got one viewer apparently. I'm sure that's just a hiccup on my software. But if you are out there, thank you for watching. Meantime, Nira Toasty have lagged out of the race now. I mean, what position were they in the championship? Is that known?
I can definitely search it up for you.
It'd be interesting to know what effect that might have had on the championship. Jamie2503, meanwhile, has lost out big time to Fozzy. Fozzy, having gone ahead, has really pulled clear. In P4, meanwhile, our boys not able to catch up to the back of second place Awesome Panda and the Lotus. So we've now unfortunately got a gap in the field. Meantime, Sean B22 is advising that you won't like this, but actually Mark Selby is beating Ronnie O'Sullivan in the snooker final.
Ooh, come on, Ronnie. That was a Ronnie.
Interesting. In the meantime, CrazyFish1234 is saying fault. Well, yes, it was, but if you've got any idea what caused it, I'd like to know. Unfortunately, we've now got a situation where the field is so spread out, we actually don't have much action to cover. Why did we lose Taco when we did? No! So in the meantime, Boyce in P3 trying to catch up to the back of the Lotus. So, well, in the meantime, then, while we've got the opportunity, we might as well talk about the real life sport. Obviously, one of the things that's happening at the moment is the argument about costs. Now, apparently, the minor teams have been allowed to bring forward their ideas on how they'd cut the costs. As we actually got someone in the pits in P6, and might be Nikita possibly. Now, Nikita's in P5 out on track. It's Jamie in the Mercedes. He's come out in 6th place. Meanwhile, CrazyFish1234 wants to have your opinion regarding what happened with the Classics race. So, over to you, I've got a bit of free air.
Oh, well, Classics. There was, well, for my race, I had an absolute shocker. I didn't do very well at all, so I did retire from the race. However, I would like to praise Saki Taco, who all you guys on the stream, I do call him DTM driver, just because of the fact is we had a little bit of a banter issue with TRL Rosberg and himself at Singapore. You can all wind him up about that anyway. But that was his first journey job, and he did an absolutely amazing job at it. Also,
well, in the meantime, no, go on, sorry, finish off.
I was going to say, the race was very clean and very good, so well done to everyone who participated in that race.
Well, in the meantime, I've actually just had a message from Nira Toasty, not happy at all. Says, I've disconnected, I don't get this on any other game. This game needs to be sorted. 2 out of 3 races I've disconnected from. Not a happy bunny. And Psychic Taco has come in from the lead and he's actually going to come out just ahead of Nikita. Nikita's going to be keeping him honest now, heading through turn 2 because he got a poor exit out of the pit lane there. Psychic Taco is right in front of Nikita. That was critical. So heading down towards turn... Go on, sorry.
I was going to say, this is effectively the battle for the lead now.
Well, not necessarily, because Nikita's still yet to stop, whereas Psychic Taco has come out of the pit. So unless Nikita's doing one less stop, he's now got a pit stop in hand over her. And that's a critical lead.
Nikita's still yet to sit on options though.
Well, that's the situation, isn't it? How long do these prime tires last? Riding on board as Sakit Taco looks to go through turn 11. Nikita's followed him very quickly, and actually Sakit Taco almost went off the track at turn 12. Not having much luck here, and I don't know if it's me, but the cars have started crabbing a bit. We might be suddenly getting a bit more lag. Do we really need any more? We've only got 8 runners and riders now. This is disappointing. Sakitaga had a bit of wheel slip through turn 13, but Nikita's not able to take advantage. As up ahead, is that XRL Fozzy who's down into the pit box? We got someone in the pits. Who is that?
I'm a boy.
That's I'm a Boyce, and he... Oh, it looked like he was going for options, then they became primes again when they hit the track. So Nikita goes ahead of Boyce. Boyce can have a lot of clean air here. A great opportunity for Boyce to cement a podium finish. Moving further up the field briefly, just to give you an idea where all the positions are on track. Sakit Taco is behind Fozzy, who's just gone through the hairpin. Meanwhile, Awesome Panda is just coming up to turns 9 and 10 now. Not sure that's close enough to be able to get into a position, really, for a pit stop. He'll need a bit more time than that, Panda. But if Nikita can do him a favour and get into a battle with Taco, that might be the ticket he needs. Meanwhile, on the stream, Toasty just simply says, stupid game. As also LGS reckons that Taco will need to stop again. That's quite likely, but as also Chris, as you mentioned before, Nikita's not yet run the option tyres. So that's a big problem there. Jordan Kelly asks who's first and second. First place at the moment is the Awesome Panda, and second is XRL Fozzy, who's on a kind of a reverse strategy in many ways, got totally out of sync on the pit. But he's doing a great job to be able to keep position. Nikita, meanwhile, in DRS on, but not using the DRS. Has she got a critical fault that's keeping her from catching up to the back of Sakit Taco?
Could be down to the grip that she's got. Obviously, she did hit a few laps earlier than Taco. With all that, yeah, it won't help at all.
Yeah, you got a fair point actually, and now it's out of DRS, so maybe that was a glitch, giving us the DRS icon when she's actually not in DRS zone. So now it's up to Taco to keep the hammer down and keep as close as he can. As XRL Fozzy is about 4 or 5 seconds maybe ahead of him. And then you've got Awesome Panda, who's not that much further afield. So it's a big opportunity here for Taco to put his hands on a victory trophy. Sakit Taco not getting the best of wheel spin out of turn 6 there, as behind him Nikita desperately tries to cling on, in vain on the wearing tyres. You get the feeling that Nikita's going to be stopping sooner rather than later, and that is going to free Taco up. Behind them, meanwhile, we've got Ivor Boyce, quite a bit of drift in P5, and then P6, Jamie 2503. He'll be disappointed because early on, he was a master of late braking and driving, but in the second half of the race, just does not have the pace at all. Meanwhile, in P7, we've got S. Perez and the sister Ferrari, and then Snipe Zone being very slow, but at the end of the day, to finish first you got to finish, and he's in P8 at the moment, keeping his clothes very, very clean indeed.
So Swish, any GP2 stats you would like me to get for you?
The other one that really matters is the championship and what the effect of this race will be.
Well, unfortunately, Sauber and Williams can continue their no points, which will benefit Lotus actually, who are in 5th place with equal points with Sauber. With McLaren not racing, that will benefit Ferrari. That is if Fozzy can get a 2nd place, that will put them first in the constructors. Regarding the drivers, Fozzy is currently leading the championship.
So Fozzy is 2nd place. If he keeps there, that will give him a good shot at keeping his lead for now. Sakit Taco, though, really pretty much the net leader at the moment, because the other guys, Awesome Panda and also XRL Fozzy, are out of sync. So this is definitely the opportunity for Tarko to pick up some crucial points and get himself back in the championship hunt as we head into the Bahrain Grand Prix, which starts on Sunday evening at 8 o'clock on channels 1 and 2. That will be in simulcast with me and Dan Fisk. So you'll be able to watch both streams live, or just watch one stream, whatever you want to do. That will be on courtesy of GT Omega Racing and GamePod.co.uk, live and exclusive on Twitch.tv. So make sure you all keep your comments coming in. Thank you all very much for watching tonight, persevering through the loss of connections to the stream, the loss of drivers, but we still had a very good race overall. The drivers have really put on the show as much as they could. Interestingly, Tarko, despite being on the fresher tyres, isn't making that bigger inroads to XRL Fozzy. He's catching him, but not enough to get into DRS or anything like that, and that surprises me. I'm expecting Tarko to be able to close the gap a bit quicker than this.
I mean, maybe he's just trying to do a little bit of round this first sector, just trying not to get in the dirty air of Fozzy, and then obviously close up towards the end of the lap where he gets the straight line speed down the straight.
You do have a point actually, because he got a better run for a turn 3 and 4 than Fozzy, and all of a sudden it's right underneath him. I don't know, maybe Tarko's just trying to save his tyres a little bit and bring them into play at the right point of the lap, but Fozzy is in real danger now, because that gap was initially more than DRS zone, now it's down to maybe 3/10. He's lost a lot of time here, Fozzy, and he didn't go off the track. Tarko almost took him through turn 8 there. He's got so much more grip than XRL Fozzy at the Ferrari at the moment. Heading towards turn 10, Tarko thinking about potentially a move, but he's realised that with DRS here, there's just no point making that overtake early. But that gives a couple more corners where those dirty air won't shoot the tyres. I mean, does the dirty air damage the tyres quite severely?
It doesn't damage them, it just increases the wear rate of the tyres. It's the same as putting them on marbles consistently. It just increases the wear, and obviously it will affect you.
Tarko fancy the move, but XRL Fozzy defends to the middle of the track, and Tarko has to get out of the gas to avoid hitting the diffuser, and has not made the move stick. Heading down towards turn 1, he's going to have DRS here, but is it going to be enough to affect the pass into turn 1, or is XRL Fozzy going to lead him round for another lap? XRL Fozzy has retained the lead. Tarko though managed a chance to turn 2, getting slightly better run. He's going wide at 2 to try and get the undercut into 3. But XRL Fozzy keeping that car planted square in the middle of the road. Tarko managed a chance to out-track the Ferrari down towards turn 6. Tarko knows he's got to make this move to get going. Can't afford to spend another lap behind Fozzy. Into turn 6, Fozzy goes a bit too deep in 6. Tarko's got a chance to drive around the outside. Into turn 7, we saw XRL yes, do this in the F1 division, and no! A bit of a whack there for XRL Fozzy. Looked like he was about to punt Tarko, but Tarko takes that critical position. He now needs to get just far enough ahead to avoid being DRS down to turn 13. Would you say that was the move of the driver showing a bit of desperation there, Chris?
I think it's a move that didn't need to be done at that moment, because if he had played his cards right, he could have got a DRS and obviously blown past him down the straight. But he's got the move done. I don't think Fozzy has got the DRS anyway.
The thing is, like on the previous lap, XRL Fozzy, he's got the DRS surprisingly, I'm not sure how. But either way, XRL Fozzy, despite having the DRS on him and having to defend that, he managed to hold Tarko off. And Tarko's made a big mistake, almost spun the car at 13. So Fozzy now is going to have the DRS again, as into the pits goes the leader of Olsen Panda. So Panda's finally blinked, but Fozzy's got the DRS on Tarko. And Tarko's under pressure here. If Fozzy can get close to him, he might be able to force a move. Oh, Fozzy goes a little deep into the inside there. Tarko goes a bit wide. That's going to give him compromised entry into 2. But he's just done enough to keep the position for now. Tarko's really driving on the ragged edge.
Interestingly, Panda comes out behind on the boy.
Well, Panda stopped very, very late, of course. Did you go onto the prime tyres, Panda?
I can definitely tell you that.
XRL Fozzy trying to keep close to the back of Psychic Panda. Well, the Psychic Panda, Psychic Taco even. I've got a bit mixed up with the names there. Psychic Taco in first place at the moment for Mercedes, and XRL Fozzie is not letting go, surprisingly. Psychic Taco, despite driving away initially on the first lap, has now not been able to break away too much from Fozzie. Is Fozzie going to be close enough to get the DRS through turn 12 here? Because the detection line's in a strange place. It's right in the middle of the traction zone. So unless you're really far ahead to turn 11, you're going to get DRS even when you're miles behind someone.
I can tell you that Awesome Panda is actually on the option tyres.
Well, that's a surprise. So I thought he'd gone for the prime tyres, which would give him the chance to keep going for no more pits towards the end of the race. As Tarkov goes wide at turn 13 there, gets a bit ragged, but XRL Fozzie is not close enough to take advantage. And XRL Fozzie, full credit to him. He's done a great job here of keeping these tyres alive. And I think we've got one of the back markers coming out of the pits there, who's currently about to be lapped. Nikita goes through in P3. I'm a Boyce in P4. Yeah, it's definitely our back marker and the Lotus, the sister Lotus. I forgot the name. Meanwhile, update from Sean B says that the score of the snooker is now 15-14 to Mark Selby. Rocky Ronnie is coming back into it. We might be in for a thriller. Well, as thrilling as snooker can be, to be honest. Personally, I find it about as interesting as watching paint dry. No smiley comment from you there, Chris. I'm surprised.
No, I mean, I admire snooker, but it can be a boring sport. It can be like darts. One of them things where you can obviously watch it and you know what's going to happen, just like Vettel in 2011, or it could be.
Or in 2013.
It could be anyone's game, like for instance 2007, where Raikkonen won it in the last race.
That's very true. So meanwhile, Nikita has got curves available, not used all of it, and has now got the DRS with XRL Fozzie. Nikita, of course, out of sync and has still not run the option tyres, so she's going to have to stop again. But if Nikita plays her cards right, she might be able to stop with only maybe like 4 laps to go and have really fast pace. We saw that last night in the F1 division where WRL Montoya appeared to throw away a solid podium and then still ended up coming back to 4th place. DRS fell Nikita looking to take a look at the side of XRL Fozzie into turn 1. XRL Fozzie may have tried to stay a bit too long on these tyres going through turn 2 as Nikita's really close now to the back of him, as indeed Fozzie goes very, very wide at turn 2 and that compromises the exit at 3. Fozzie is definitely a sitting duck here.
Fozzie's in between a rock and a hard place. He could either go on the primes now and get caught at the end by option runners, or go on the option and he may have to do one more stop.
It's the worst possible nightmare scenarios. Nikita, side by side into turn 7. Is she going to try and make a banzai move into lane? This is incredibly bright. And what driving to force her way through there. Superb. You could say that the tyres might have fallen away from Fozzie's car, but that was still mightily brave from Nikita to stick to that move.
Yeah, credit to both drivers there. No contact. Great overtake by Nikita.
Into the DRS zone. The XRL Fozzie is probably going to have the DRS swap here, so Nikita, despite that brave pass, may see that all come to naught. Indeed, Nikita's already defended and got to the right side of the track, and it's now coming back to the middle. She's got to be careful here. You're not allowed to break the toe and then move again. So we saw Lewis Hamilton get picked for that in Malaysia when he did that on Vitaly Petrov in 2012. But XRL Fozzie is just not close enough to make the move.
Interestingly, Fozzie didn't actually get...
JP2 lost connection! We've lost another driver! We've only got 7 left! Awesome Panda DRS flat open as he goes past, I believe that's Nikita, who's gone into the pits. No, it's Fozzie. Fozzie's finally gone into the box, and Awesome Panda with DRS looking to go on the inside of either Boyce, gets a bit of junk on his tyres. Boyce pushes his tyres twice into Panda there. Boyce has got to be careful, he's not guilty of pushing the driver off. Awesome Panda says, I'm not having any of that, and drives right round the outside of turn 4. Meanwhile, Nikita in P2 has got the back marker behind her, and she's way adrift now of Psychic Taco. Awesome Panda, though, unless he can be absolutely magnificent on these tyres, he's going to have to stop again, and that's surely going to mean that Taco, besides it, as long as his connection holds, he doesn't make any mistakes, looks odds on for victory at the moment. But questions have to be asked. How is it that we're losing so many drivers here? I've not seen this since last season's Monaco Grand Prix in GP2, where we end up with just 4 finishes at the end because of bad connections. Indeed, Boyce starts snaking a bit of war, and I'm wondering if he's next to go.
I mean, this connection in this game is like a ticking time bomb. 1 minute you're fine, next minute, boom, 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 you're gone.
You've been playing a bit too much GTA, haven't you?
Yes, I have.
Meantime, Psychic Taco goes on to lap 43, comfortably in the lead. As Snipes on in P7 has actually got the DRS on Nikita, and Vassi's doing a Kamui Kobayashi on Sebastian Vettel here, but he's just not got the grip to get by. The last thing Nikita wants is a back marker overtaking her and pulling away. In fact, that really would be a case of art emulating life there, really, wouldn't it?
I think the only thing that Snipestone can do to affect Nikita is just pass her, because as soon as he passes her, he's going to be getting the blue flag to let her back pass.
Not if he gets a brilliant drive and pulls away. Again, that's one of the things that Kamui Kobayashi was told on the radio by Caterham when he did exactly that on Sebastian Vettel at the Chinese Grand Prix, ironically. He did enough to pull away, so who knows? Maybe Snipezone's able to do that. I'll be surprised if he does, though. I think Snipezone's decided to stay away. Meanwhile, Craigfish1234, his fear is simple. He says this is because the host disconnected. It's hard to look past that, to be honest.
Full credit where credit's due. Crazy Fish has got it right on the nail on the head.
Awesome Panda in P3 looking to try and close down Nikita before her pit stop. She's going to have to stop for options. Now, if she can time this well, in fact, I think Nikita's just been overtaken by Snipezone. Snipezone with DRS goes past Nikita into turn 13, and if Nikita gets a poor run out of turn 13, then we might actually see that he can pull away. Snipezone, he might be down the back of the field, and he might be only keeping the points alive, but that's a real bloody blow there. And actually, Nikita's got the DRS, but Snipezone's pulling away, emulating Kamui Kobayashi. Nikita goes into the lead because Taco's gone back in for another pit stop. Now, is Snipezone going to get the blue flags to move out of Nikita's way? I'm not entirely sure. There's no sign of it slowing down yet. Going through turn 5, Nikita will be looking at him going, get out of my way. I'm in the lead. Pull over, move. And I think that's where the blue flags are going to come into play. Snipes on the pitch, be sticking far to the right. And the dream is over for the Lotus driver. Absolutely brilliant there. Nice to see that someone's not going to stick at the back of the grid and just pull out of everyone's way.
He played a team order game, now he's held Nikita up for his teammate to go through and try and catch her up.
And also, if Snipezone's getting out of the way too early here, Awesome Panda should have told him to stay in front so he'd get DRS off him. That's what I'd have done. But then again, I'm a cheat.
And again, Ferrari played a game at Monza where you get your teammate to do what you want.
Exactly. Yeah, DRS is going to be available to Awesome Panda, I think. You know, he's just out of range, maybe a few metres. Evidently, the car less would have affected him, but Nikita now is being bared down on very, very quickly by Awesome Panda. Panda, of course, is on the option tyres, and I can see him having to stop for another set of options in the meantime. Now, when is Nikita going to go into the box? Is she going to go in very late, or is she going to go in soon? DRS available from Awesome Panda. Heading out towards turn 1, Nikita defends to the inside of the track. So, in the meantime, though, Awesome Panda goes to the right, sees the wedge closing, and wisely backs out for now. Jordan Kelly on the stream, meanwhile, commenting saying, good racing. I agree, it really has been good racing. The guys have done well, actually. Good to see respect throughout the field. As Nikita gets poor traction off turn 4, so now that's going to give Awesome Panda a bit of life there. Awesome Panda doesn't want to hit on lagging cars, the last thing you want. Into turn 6, Nikita takes the wider line over the curb, slows Panda down, but he's going to use the curse to try and blast past the T7. They're side by side, Nikita's not giving up. She's hanging Panda out to dry, but what a move there from Panda to make his way through in turn 8.
Yeah, very similar to Nikita's move on, I think it was Fozzy.
It was, yeah, but even so, brave driving as Nikita did everything in her power to hold him back. Now, interestingly, I believe the snipe zone once again has caught up to the back of Nikita. If Nikita gets passed by him, that's going to make things even worse for her. And look at the gap that Panda's already pulled out. In fact, yeah, Snipe Zone's got the DRS, and is he going to attack here? No, he's decided to back off.
Yeah, I don't think it was another blue flag incident.
Now, Nikita, I think she's going to be reaching the end of the tyre cycle. Is she going to box this lap? Yes, she is. She goes straight into the box. Crazy Fish called that, actually, so that's really good. Meanwhile, Jordan, trying to win the Commentator's Curse Award, says, I think a host will disconnect. We don't know who the host is. If that's the leader, I reckon you're going to be earning yourself a double penalty in your F4 race.
I'd like to point out that A host has already disconnected tonight.
Well, we've seen 2 hosts leave, haven't we? Actually, no, I don't think we have.
No, it's just the one.
Yeah, so actually Bernie's the only host to have lost. Interesting. Meanwhile, Ira Boyce has profited greatly from this because Ian P3. Oh, actually, he's staring at the back of the lock car. Nice to see a Lotus running 1 and 2 on the track, even though they're actually 1 and 7. That's nice and confusing for us people following who's in second place. Meanwhile, Jordan Kelly's just gained a map. He said, Sean, just shut up. To which Sean's just gone, what? And then Jordan's saying, swish, I am offended. I'm going to say what? I don't understand what's going on.
And it looks like I'm the best person out of it because I haven't been called upon. Yes!
Well, let's say, I'm usually the one giving out the Commentator's Curse Award. You know, Crazyfish1234 saying that was actually in relation to who will disconnect next, as Awesome Panda boxes from the lead for a 9-lap burst on the option tyres. And I think Nikita's just come in, actually. No, it's Boyce. Boyce has just come in. Well, that's interesting. And I wasn't expecting that. So XRL Fozzy is now going to go up to P2. Now, if Fozzy's tyres hadn't gone, he could be a real spanner in the works here and get an unexpected P2.
Potentially, but Nikita messed up the final corner, and I believe that's Awesome Panda. He's come out ahead of Nikita.
Critical for Awesome Panda. He needed to ensure he did that if he wanted any chance of catching up to the likes of Fozzy and being able to get himself into this race. Meanwhile, Psychic Taco's still in the lead, but he's on the prime tyres. So he's going to be slower than the likes of Nikita and Panda, but has he done enough to break away?
That was just to get away from the snooker talk.
Meanwhile, everyone on the streets seems to be talking about other sports. Get your eyes on the screen to watch what matters. As Nikita in 4th place is trying to close down to the back of Awesome Panda. And Nikita's not too far adrift, but I don't think it's going to be enough to catch up here. Well, Jordan's just gone out and called one of us a rather nasty word. I'm not going to repeat it on the stream because we do actually have sponsors and I don't want us to lose our sponsorship because I've got a potty mouth. But XRL Fozzy in 2nd place, trying to catch up to the leader, Psychic Taco. And Taco's not that far ahead of him actually, only about 4 or 5 seconds.
I just have one quick comment to Jordan, which has no context of Formula 1. It is not rude in any way, shape, or form.
Well, Toasty, thank you very much. He says, shut up. This is an F1 stream. I totally and utterly agree. Our boys in P5, not done. It's done okay. Bit of damage repair really for his race here. And Nikita in P4, so a solid race for Red Bull actually. On place for 4th and 5th. That's 22 points in the Constructors' Championship. Assuming, of course, they don't catch the likes of Panda or XRL Fozzy. Good driving, and also Fozzy's just got clear of the Snipe Zone's Lotus at the back of the field, so he's not going to be held up now. And in fact, has Psychic Taco made an error? He seemed to go very slow through 9 and 10.
I have a feeling that Taco might pit at the end of the lap just to get the options on, just to keep ahead of the guys.
Well, I'm not sure if that's wise, because XRL Fozzy's only about 7 seconds adrift of him. If he goes into the box, Fozzy will take the lead. And Fozzy might not need to stop again. And Awesome Panda is now clear of his teammate Snipe Zone, and Snipe Zone might actually be helping out Nikita here, because he's going to have given Nikita the DRS down towards turn 13. It's not going to be affecting the pass, because at the same time Awesome Panda's too far ahead, but it gives her that few extra Ks to catch him up. Oh dear, the grammar police have turned up on the stream, viewers. That's something I never thought I'd say while commentating. And XRL Fozzy follows Psychic Taco through. Taco still stayed out and has actually pulled a bit more of a gap. I think Taco realises he's got to commit to this strategy, because he's not far enough ahead of Awesome Panda. If he goes into the box, he's going to lose the lead. And we saw what happened to WRL Montoya last night. He wasn't able to claw back to the podium. Meanwhile, Toasty decides to put the hammer down. Well, I wish you were putting the hammer down on track, Toasty. Massive commiserations that you ended up losing connection to the race. I will say that if XRL Bernie's out there watching tonight, please allow us to actually do a proper connection test, because it seems there's big problems here. A couple of guys have been losing out. We've lost a lot of drivers this evening. We even lost one streamer. I don't know if that's because of a race or because of Twitch. It's hard to know. Connection's not been reliable all the way. XRL Fozzy in P2 is about 4 seconds clear of Awesome Panda. And at the same time, where in the meantime is Taco? Taco's just gone through the final corner and he's crossed over the start-finish line now. That gives him about 7 seconds on Fozzy, who's got about 10 seconds between Taco and Panda. Taco can't go into the pits. He's simply not got the pace, has he?
I think he's blown his chance. He should have come in a couple of laps ago if he was going to make it into the pits, but I think he's going to stick out there.
I mean, we've only got 6 laps to go. Awesome Panda's going to need to be about 2 seconds a lap quicker than Taco to have any chance to be able to take over this race and take the lead. But it's going to be really difficult, isn't it? Because not only have you got XRL Fozzy and the Ferrari in the way, but at the same time, those tyres will be falling away. Don't forget, Awesome Panda, I think he boxed on lap 46. So these tyres are 3 laps old. By the end of the race, they could be approaching the cliff. We could be in for a proper last sundown battle at noon here, with both drivers at the end of the tyre life and both right at the end of the race.
Yeah, definitely. Nikita obviously pitted 1 lap in front when she had that problem when Panda passed her. But this race is going to be done by who's got the best tyre life at the end of the day.
Well, Panda's starting to catch up to XRL Fozzy, because Fozzy now is just heading over towards the final corner, and I think the gap between Fozzy and Panda is maybe 3 seconds. Panda needs a good lap here. He needs to actually get into DRS and pass XRL Fozzy straight away if he's going to have any hope of catching Psychic Taco in the Mercedes. Taco, meanwhile, he's just got to keep it consistent, keep it on the island, and do enough to defend. Meanwhile, Jordan Kelly 98 asking about real life F1. What do I reckon about Red Bull's chances of catching Mercedes? Well, Red Bull has shown that they've got a car which is very, very much about high downforce. Now, the next few circuits won't favour them. The likes of Spain, the likes of Monaco, we've got the likes of Silverstone coming up. All high downforce tracks. So Red Bull's lack of straight line speed might not hurt them too much there. So you might see the championship come back to them. And don't forget as well, they've got one of the biggest budgets and they've got Adrian Newey. If there's anyone who's going to get on top of a car and drag pace out of it, you put your heart on him. I mean, what's your take on that, Chris?
I mean, I agree to the fact that the Red Bull's better in the high downforce tracks like Spain, but I think we're going to see the true reflection of how close or how far the difference between the cars are, obviously in the first practice test. And by the end of the Spanish Grand Prix, we'll know whether anyone's caught up to the Mercedes or whether the upgrades by Mercedes, if they've bought any, have completely and utterly blown the field apart again.
Well, on the stream, meantime, Toasty gets him a couple of points. First of all, he says he agrees a connection test is needed because drivers such as himself missing out, it's really disappointing. Completely agree, there's nothing worse for a driver. You turn up, it's almost like a real thing where your engine goes or your gearbox fails. It's something that you're not responsible for, and boom, there goes your chances of smoke. So something definitely needs to happen, in my opinion. Also, Toasty says he reckons that Red Bull will catch towards the end of the season. However, there are a few times where they've shown the pace, but they don't appear to have the consistent pace at all tracks. It is true, actually. I mean, Stroll, Sebastian Vettel shows just how it's difficult for the Red Bull at the moment, as Austin Panda's really caught up to the back of XRL Fozzy now. Fozzy's going to be losing second place here, you think, but is Austin Panda going to be able to catch Toast, going to catch up to Psychic? I don't think he will. Jordan, meanwhile, reckons the high downforce tracks like Singapore will favour Red Bull. Well, Red Bull have traditionally been very strong at Singapore. Apart from Fernando Alonso, there aren't many people who've beaten them there. I think Lewis Hamilton won once, Fernando Alonso's won, but not many drivers have beaten them at that track.
I'd say though, Nico Rosberg does like that track. When he was in the Williams, he was up for a win, if not a podium. But until the pit stop where Williams messed him up in 2008, I believe.
It was the first ever race there, and it was where he made the mistake, went over the white line at the exit and got a drive-through, which put him to the foot of the field due to the safety car rules. As Austin Panda's got the DRS, looking to pull the wheel out, but XRL Fozzy defending on the brakes. Panda's had to go around the outside. XRL Fozzy's doing all he can to hang on, but Panda is not giving up. Gets better drive out of 13 into the final corner. He's going to the high ground. Oh, but Panda hits the ball out, almost spins around, and XRL Fozzy goes back through, but then Fozzy lets him through. I get the feeling Fozzy suspects he might have done a bit of foul play there and didn't want to get a penalty towards the end of the race. Probably a smart thing to do, really. I know you might think you should be trusting your convictions, but sometimes discretion is the better part of valour, and Fozzy's that kind of driver.
Yeah, I mean, it's good driving there by Fozzy. However, Panda did make the mistake. I was just wondering if Fozzy may have passed him with all four wheels off the track to avoid an incident.
Even then, I think you are allowed to do that if you're avoiding an incident, but still very sporting of Fozzy. But it has allowed Nikita to get an outside shot at the podium now, because all that slowing down for Austin Panda has got Fozzy really exposed. And we've seen these two go hammer and tongs through Sector 2. So I think Nikita's going to be more than happy to take him on in Sector 3 with a DRS. Heading into turn 11, Nikita looking to get close as possible, and behind her, Ima Boyce also catching quickly. So Red Bull might steal a third and fourth finish here, which would give them a total of 27 points. That'd be an excellent potential. DRS flat wide open here from Nikita surely, as they head down towards turn 13, gets into the slipstream of XRL Fozzy, who starts to drift back towards the centre of the track. Which way's Nikita going to go? Heads or tails? Fancies the outside line, going to get close to the marbles there. Big chance here, and Ima Boyce now might get a better run on her as a result of that, but Nikita's just got the traction to pull away into the final corner. Boyce goes wide, almost off the track entirely, Nikita's got the DRS now over down towards turn 1. Has she got enough pace to pass the Ferrari? But XRL Fuzzy defends to the inside. Nikita passes a runner on the outside. Oh! Nikita goes too fast to the inside and Boyce takes her into turn 2. Boyce sneaks into 4th place and then drives around the outside of Fuzzy round turn 3. Absolutely magnificent there from Ivor Boyce. Surely a contender for overtaking a week.
Not only that, that could be also overtaking the season at the end of the season. That was just stupendous stuff.
Nikita will be furious. She did all the hard work. And XRL Bobbitt, like an assassin, sneaks from behind and goes, "Thank you very much, I will have that." On the street, CRO Gutierrez says GP2 is hellish good so far. I don't know what it is, but the tracks where normally the races have been quite processional for real seem to be the best drives out here in XRL. Singapore's have always been classic, China's always been classic, Malaysia's always been classic. I don't know what it is, but it somehow seems to bring everyone's A-game out. Sean Bean agrees, he believes overtaking a week they're definitely going to go. I'm a voice for that sensational bit of driving. Meantime, also Bobbitt says that Fozzie's times appear to have gone again, and Sean Bean just said it's like deja vu. Oh, but both Nikita and Boyce taking the rallycross approach through there, through last corner, both going very, very wide. Really going off the track there. Really got to be careful that they don't get themselves too much of an advantage. Now, meantime, Awesome Panda in P2, just coming off turn 3. Saiki Taco just going around turn 6. Taco has probably just done enough, providing he doesn't make any mistakes. Ivor Boyce, meanwhile, has got Nikita breathing down on him, and so has XRL Fuzzy. We might have a free car scrap on the final lap here for who gets the final podium position. So let's ride on board with these guys. Nikita following her teammate Ivor Boyce into turns 7 and 8 here. Looking to get the faster line as Boyce goes a little wide there. Gets a bit of kick up the dust but doesn't lose too much traction. But Nikita should get DRS there. Face full of dust there courtesy of Ivor Boyce. Boyce all out attack to try and keep his podium position. But Nikita is not giving up. Oh! She goes into the back of Boyce there. Really caught out on the braking, but luckily doesn't damage the car and doesn't push Boyce off the track. No curves now available to Nikita as we go into this rather laggy back straight. DRS flat open, but I don't know if she's going to be close enough to affect the pass. Ivor Boyce defending to the middle of the track just to cover his chances here. Into turn 13 now, Nikita's too far behind. XRL Bobbitt meanwhile is saying push like hell Fuzzy and Taco do not screw it up. Well, we're on to the final lap here. Taco currently has the lead from Awesome Panda. XRL Fuzzy meanwhile trying to close onto the back of Nikita as DRS available down towards turn 1. Is he going to get the traction to make an attacking move here into turn 2? He's just a bit too far behind, but he might have a chance to on turn 13. Nikita meanwhile not giving up on Ivor Boyce, who's in currently P3. But any one of these three drivers could be tasting the champagne on the podium in 3rd position at this moment in time. Jordan Kelly's going for the commentator's curse, saying, "Well done, Fuzzy and Taco. You evil, evil man." Nikita, meanwhile, going for turn 6, looking to get close to the back of her teammate. Ivor Boyce going for turn 7 and 8. And Ivor Boyce seems to struggle in the high-speed change of direction, but Nikita's just not closing up enough. Goes a bit wide at turn 9, that'll compromise the exit at 10, and it might just be enough for Boyce to hang on.
Interestingly, Perez is going to be holding up Awesome Panda, so Taco definitely looks like to be getting the win now. But yeah, the battle's all on for the final podium position now.
Well, Nikita, his intra-team battle deploys the curves off the final corner to try and get the maximum slingshot, but Ivor Boyce has pulled massively ahead. DRS swap up from Nikita here. She will be closing, but I don't think it's going to be enough. And with the lack of curves, I can see Boyce just hanging on. Meanwhile, who's not off the track? As Psychic Taco goes over to take a very well-earned win there. But meantime, Awesome Panda will go for it to second, and Ivor Boyce, provided he doesn't screw up the final corner, will take 3rd place. place, but Nikita is going to come home fourth to give Red Bull 27 points from this weekend's race. While we wait for Snipe Zone, let's get the guys in for the podium ceremony. Magnificent driving throughout the entire field there. Everyone really working hard.
Still pretty impressive, Nikita, though.
Coming back from 9th place once, I was 8th on the grid.
No, it's 9th. Definitely 9th.
Great, it shows what strategy can do for you. So let's get these guys in here. Meanwhile, I did receive a message from Tiago Gutierrez. Let's see what he had to say. Who do we think will win the F1 Championship for real life? Ooh, that's a difficult call. That's really difficult. You'd say that Hamilton's got the pace, but will Nico Rosberg be able to lead? Will we also see a late charge from the likes of Sebastian Vettel? Meanwhile, Taco, let's go over to you. A race where you started in P2 and it looked like you and Nira Toasty were in for a bit of a battle, but once we lost Toasty from the race, you seem to just have enough to be able to control the pace and take the victory.
Sorry, you cut out there. It didn't start up until the winning screen. Repeat that question. Sorry.
No, it's okay, I'll get it over for you. Let's say, initially, it looked like in the race it was going to be a close battle between you and Nira Toasty with regards to who was going to be taking the victory honours. Once Nira Toasty dropped out due to connection, though, you seem to kind of have the pace overall, but a few times getting caught out in between battles. Was that a difficult race, or did it look as easy as it was?
The race, it definitely was a difficult battle, and it was shaping up to be a very hard-fought victory. But sadly, he did lag out, and that is very disappointing. But at that point, I felt I had the pace and the strategy to be able to control the race, and it'd be my race to lose.
I mean, that's China been a track where traditionally you've been quite strong. Were you expecting to be battling for the pole position and the win?
I wasn't expecting to be up in the front like that at the beginning of qualifying. I thought there may be some other people. I haven't seen their pace. I didn't see their pace all week. I was a little bit anxious at the start, but once I set that good lap of 1:33.9, I was really comfortable from there on.
Excellent. Well, congratulations to you. In the meantime, then, Panda, we'll go over to you. Again, you seem to be another driver who was showing quite consistent pace early on, but it looked like you were going to be snapping at the heels at the final podium position. But once Nira Toasty went out, it seemed like you had the chance, but initially you might have been involved with the likes of Nikita scrapping out for 3rd place. Were you expecting to take 2nd towards the end?
No. I think it was because the 4th stop really worked out and I managed to jump Nikita in the last pit stop phase.
I mean, you certainly seem to have quite a lot of pace, but at the same time, when you were on the option tyres and you saw that Psychic was still on the prize, did you think you might have had the chance to close him down overall, or were you pretty much sat on 2nd place?
I was hoping his tyres would have died before the end, but unfortunately they didn't.
Oh, well, that's a pretty big shame there. Commiserations to you. Meanwhile, we unfortunately have lost Boyce from the party, and I can't seem to get him back in. So I'm afraid to say, I think we're going to have to wrap it up from now. Of course, all results are provisional, and the Stewards' review will be up for you very shortly once the league gets all the details from us. In the meantime, tomorrow night, you've got GP3, which will be live on Channel 1. I believe Sharky will be bringing you coverage of that live here on Twitch.tv, sponsored by GT Omega Racing and GamePod.co.uk. On the Wednesday evening, you've got the double header of the F5 and the T6 drivers. Both F1 Speed and XRL Bernie will be bringing you coverage of that. This week's Classics race is off courtesy of the social get-together to do the go-karting. But on Sunday night, we will be tearing up the track. Again, the F1 division brings us back. We will be all at the Bahrain Grand Prix in Sakhir. Until then, thank you all very much for watching, and good night.